Yeah, hold your mic, Tom.
Five count. I'll do a 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Run.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pack Basketball Show. We're at Thunder Zone House. Brooks, joined by the head coach Tommy Johnson. To my left, right here, Sanea Martinez. To my right, our second show of the year. First time we've had Tommy Johnson on. Tommy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Feeling better? How's the body working right now?
You know what? Wins do a lot for you. When you win, you feel a lot better.
Well, those were two great wins you had this past weekend, especially the one on Saturday. I think Thursday, it took a while. You had a great late third quarter, early, actually they made a run at you early in the fourth quarter, then you put them away. But I thought Saturday's game against South Dakota Mines was a phenomenal victory.
Yeah, I thought Saturday was a character game. You know, it got to show who we are, how much better we're trying to improve, and the girls really stepped up to the challenge. So Saturday was definitely a great win, and, you know, you always go on the road, you say don't get swept, but when you sweep, it feels great.
Well, and let's go back to Thursday now. You had, it was, what was old was new again, or what was new was old again, I guess, whatever you want to look at. You had your former assistant coach on the other end of the bench. You had Romola Dominguez down there as assistant as well. How weird was that to look down there?
You know what? It was kind of surreal, you know, that having all the memories of Romola hitting those big shots here. She was part of that really big class we brought in, a really good player for us. And, you know, Coach Little was here for 5 years. So I told our girls, don't get nervous when we call something and they call it out too. They were kind of running some of the same stuff. And so it's kind of surreal, but I'm proud of them out there just making their own way now. And it was a good game.
Well, I thought in many ways watching the game, it looked a lot like watching you guys. They were running a lot of the same stuff, some of that weave game out front and some different twists with it, but a lot of the same stuff.
Absolutely. You know, some of the ball screen stuff and trying to get the ball inside to the post and some zone defensive principles. And so, yeah, it was definitely, you know, playing against your brother in the backyard.
Well, Sanea, let's talk about your ball game, especially on Saturday. Had quite a ball game against South Dakota Mines, the ball going in earlier and often. We talked about it a little bit. I think you're realizing they're overplaying your shot a little bit. You got to drive it a little bit more, and I think that's working for you.
Yeah, I think being aggressive is really important, especially right now since teams are kind of seeing how we play and kind of seeing who's like the scorers really. So I think, you know, getting to the hoop is probably one of the most important things right now.
Well, you had to be wondering about this Division II college basketball thing. The first game of the year, you come out, score 25. You're probably saying, hey, this is easy money. What do I got to worry about? It doesn't work that way, doesn't it? Everybody's got a scout, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, talk about that first game, though. You came out and were just letting it fly, and that was a crazy game, 84-80 against a great team in Nebraska Kearney. Talk about that first game of the year.
You know, it was our first game, so like we were all hyped. You know, it was, you know, our first game playing together, so we were all really hyped up. And, you know, the ball was finding me in the moments that we needed it. So, and I think a lot of players stepped up during that game, too. So it was a good team during that game, too.
Well, you're from Windsor, Colorado. Went to Northridge High School up on the north. What a burgeoning end of the state it is. Just growing like crazy up there.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So talk about your high school career. What were your big moments there?
Yeah, so in high school, we actually only made it to the Sweet 16 all 4 years, actually. We would always lose on the Sweet 16. So, but other than that, you know, I scored 1,000 points, so that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
1,000 points. That's nice. Tommy, how much you score in high school?
Not quite that much. I was close in the 800s.
I think I scored about 50.
Oh, well, you got good reason.
Well, yeah, I was doing other things. I was guarding Brad Ranson in practice.
Exactly.
What I was doing. In senior year, I was hurt all the time, so it was crazy. What do you want to talk about? Why did I bring that up? Bringing up bad memories of my high school basketball career.
Well, you won. Didn't you guys go to state?
We went to state my junior year.
Yep.
But I was a 12th man on a 12-man team.
Nobody remembers.
Nobody remembers that at all. Exactly right. Well, Sanea, we mentioned the ball game on Saturday against South Dakota Mines. That was kind of a dogfight, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. They were a pretty good team. They kind of kept us low scoring in the second quarter, so the second half. So we kind of really just bought into playing our defense and, you know, being aggressive. So.
I got to give these guys a clue. This is mic 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got that? All right. since we changed it up, since we sat in different places. There we go. Okay. It's working all right? All right. Well, we're on the fly. This is kind of a process that's working its way through.
Trial and error.
Our second
Yeah.
Pack basketball show of the year. But the game on Saturday, I thought the key was you guys, once you guys stepped on them a little bit, you never let them get really all the way back in the ballgame. You kept holding them at bay.
Yeah, exactly. And the great thing about this team is that we all love on each other. So like when we score, then we're all hyped up. So I think that just gives us the momentum that we need to just keep doing what we're doing. So.
Yeah, Tommy, in that game, I thought one of the keys was their guard. We talked about in the post-game show that their best three-point shooter, you never let her get confident. I think she ended up hitting maybe one, maybe two in the game, but never got on a serious run where she hit 2 or 3 in a row.
No, in the first half, it was imperative. We just didn't let her get going. Shooters like that, they see 1 or 2 go in early. It's a long night. Our guards did a great job of closing her out, making her put it on the deck. Of course, we ended up giving up some post-ups, I thought, but just keeping them under control. I thought they paid attention to detail, and then they did a good job of keeping them off balance, going from zone to man to press, and just trying to keep them guessing, not giving them a steady dose of anything that they could diagnose.
Well, then on Thursday's game against Shattern, that was kind of a scary game. Whenever you go against an opponent that's really been struggling on the year, you get up against them, you're really not sure what they're going to bring to the table. And they came out and hit 4 or 5 threes right off the bat. Had to have you a little worried.
I got to give credit to Romola and Coach Little. They had them up. They had them ready to go, man. In pregame, they were clapping and screaming and jumping all around. And so I decided to handle it just like another game. I didn't want to go there emotionally. I wanted to just handle business. And so we withstood the little run they put up to start the game, and got to halftime, made some adjustments, and Thursday was a good game for the girls. There's nothing like winning on the road. I keep telling our girls. It's a great feeling winning on the road, and we were able to do that twice.
Well, you got the lead at halftime in that game. We're up by 1. Had a good start to the second half. You knew they'd make a run, which they did. They got within 3 in that fourth quarter, but again, turned it right around.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to Sanea and the other girls. It's, in particular, Genesis Sweetwine. I didn't think our first half was great. I thought her second half was magnificent as a point guard. Ran our team, got girls involved, played great ball screen defense, and she hit some big shots on the other end, too, and she's becoming quite the closer for us.
Well, for you, Sanea, it's nice to have a point guard that distributes the ball because you rely on getting the pass in rhythm to where you can launch your jumper or get a good drive.
Yeah, and I've been playing with her since, my JUCO days, so she kind of knows how I play, and then I know how she plays as well, so that's kind of been a key factor, too, about us playing together and everything. So.
Well, you mentioned your JUCO days. You also had a little stint in Division I. Let's tell us about your career, the long and winding road to get here to CSU Pueblo.
Yeah, so I went to Northeastern Junior College for 2 years, played with G, played with Ruby for 1 year, and then we had a great year my sophomore year. We were ranked nationally for majority of the year, and then I decided to go D1 to Appalachian State in North Carolina. Wasn't the minutes that I wanted, but it was a great experience, and wouldn't trade it for anything else. And then when I entered the transfer portal, Coach Jay was one of the first coaches to call me. So, and I also talked to him after JUCO too. So, playing with G again, that was probably one of the biggest factors, and then also Coach Jay and just kind of the way that he talked about his program and how he felt that I can make a difference here. So
that means you got to play the 1 year with Bronson. Motown was the head coach, former one of my favorite all-time Thunderbolts.
Big dunk against UCCS. The Bronson Motown.
Well, I'll tell you a story about Bronson. Bronson, maybe you'll tune in watching on YouTube, but a friend of mine used to always text me a word during the broadcast. He goes, "Hey, I want you to use this word in a broadcast." Okay. And I go, "Well, we got to keep it kind of clean." So he, he's working every week. I'd have a different word, and I'd use it. So we're at Regis. You might remember this game when he went down the lane and flushed one hard. So my buddy, he texts me the word stank. I go, "Now, come on. How am I going to get that word, use it in a broadcast?" So it's about 5 minutes later, and all of a sudden Bronson comes down the lane, and only as Bronson could, sitting courtside there at Regis Fieldhouse, right in front of me there, right next bench. He goes up with the right hand. Boom! I mean, just incredible dunk. And I said, that dunk had some stank on it. And I just carried right on with the broadcast going on. So then my phone's lighting up, just laughter. He couldn't believe that I worked it in there, but that was the challenge. So Bronson, I always want to salute you. Didn't get to talk to you when you were here for the scrimmage earlier this year, but had to be fun playing for him.
Oh yeah, I love Coach B and the way that he coaches. We would always hear about his highlights in college, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, but yeah, I love Coach B, and
He should have told you about some of his practices.
Oh yeah, see, he didn't tell us about those. Yeah.
Well, of course, unfortunately for Bronson, his career ended at semester. That finally, it darn thing, it just ran out of time to play. But that was a big hit for the Thunderbolts. But Bronson, special shout out to you. So then you went to the D1 experience. Talk about that. How was that for you? How did that rank up there?
Yeah, I mean D1, it's always difficult. It's strictly just straight like basketball. In school, so lots of practices, lots of film. So definitely learned new things that were important in the basketball area. So, but yeah, I mean didn't get the minutes that I wanted, but still overall a good experience and good things to learn about the game of basketball. So
now here at CSU Pueblo, it's been a little bit of an adjustment for you with teams really focusing on you. When they see 25 points in that first game of the year, they're saying, "Oh, we got to cover her up."
Yeah.
So I'm sure you saw a lot of different defenses, and it was a little bit of an adjustment for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was for sure. But the good thing about our team is that we have a bunch of players that can score and make plays. So, having the depth that we have is really important, and I think I'm excited to see where we go with all the other players too. So
now, has it altered any of your game prep going into games now? Do you say, "Well, I got to really focus on driving to the basket"? I think that's been one of your best moves, is getting into your right hand and using the kind of your body as a shield for the big players coming over to block shots.
Yeah, and we do a lot of screening too. So the screening really helps. So when players drop on me, then there's always another person on the three-pointer waiting to shoot it. So, the pick has really been important for our team. So.
Well, Tommy, let's talk about this year for you personally. I mean, when you come off of having one of the greatest, maybe the greatest all-time Thunderwolf in women's basketball history, leave your ball club, and then you had a lot of other seniors leave, so you got to completely rebuild a team. I'm sure there was some soul-searching in the offseason, but at the same time, I'm sure as a coach, you said, you know what, this is a challenge, and I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. You really try to live what you believe, and so it was just, this offseason was a metaphor for life. You got to pick up and keep going, and that team was great. Obviously, I fell a little short. I thought we had one RMAC title in us and one more national tournament appearance. We'd all feel a little bit better. But to these girls' credit, man, they picked me up. They came in, they worked hard, they've been mature, they're on time, they're excited. And so, it wasn't, Alicia was definitely probably 1-2, easy. And then you throw in some of the other girls we had, and we lost Autumn early, but Autumn Watts was a talent. And throw in Tamia and Landry and Shamar. I mean, Tajane came in. That was a pretty special group. So, but they did set the bar, and I learned a lot from them. And so having to go out and recruit the way we did in the spring, it was exciting, but it was nerve-wracking. And here we are with the chance that I believe to get a whole lot better over the next month.
Yeah, you got the one loss against Western Colorado. You always look back on the year. There's 2 or 3 games that get away from it. Man, we should have had that game. I watched it again today. I put the highlights up today. I posted them and watching it. But that was a game that really, man, you got to feel like, man, that one got away from us a little bit.
Again, if that, they're picked pretty high, picked 4th, and they're undefeated right now. But when you look throughout the league and you look at the scores right now and how tight and how contested everything is, I think we're going to be right there. We got to get better, and we got to execute in the fourth quarter is what it comes down to. And limit turnovers and not have any single-digit quarter scoring-wise, and I like us. Obviously Mesa's the cream of the crop right now, UCCS, but I believe that as long as we keep getting better and get our style of play, more conducive to league stuff, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think you mentioned your style of play. I'm sure you can attest to this. You got to make a few shots to get the press on. But even if you're not hitting shots, defense always travels. You just got to grind it out until you do hit the hot streak, isn't it?
I tell you what, I know the older you get, I'm getting like Turner. You love offense. You want to see that ball go through the net.
Basketball-wise, right?
Basketball-wise. He was an offensive genius and loved to draw up sets and shoot a bunch of threes, but I still got to – every now and then I still got to get to the defense. So we still want to defend and rebound like our lives depend on it. And even the other night on Saturday, it was an ugly first quarter, but I was so confident because I felt like our defense was locked in,
Right.
low scoring first quarter. And when you can win those ugly games with defense, you got a chance to be good.
Well, let's talk about your opponent this week. Just have the one game before we go on break. It's going to be an in-and-out trip. You go down to Northern New Mexico, a team you played earlier this year, had some success against. I'm sure you expect a better game from them on their home court.
Absolutely, but I'm also expecting a better game from us. Hopefully our starters start.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So hopefully our starters.
That was one of the weirdest games ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, the second team came in and they carried us, and so we're hoping our starters have a better start and nobody goes on vacation early, and we realize how much more work we have to do, and so looking forward to going down there and playing on the road in any situation gets you better.
Well, Sine, let's talk about that. I mean, when the starters weren't doing anything in the game, the bench came in, it was probably fun to watch them, eating, as we like to say. They were getting a lot of stuff done in that game.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun to watch the second team go in and kill the way that we know that they can. So that was super exciting to see, and I think that for us starters too, I think that really opened our eyes and into being like we need to have our energy up when we first start the game. But credits to the second team for.
Now, when a game like that happens, when your second team is doing that, do you start to feel like, man, does that get your attention?
Yeah, definitely. It just shows how good we could be on, either when we have any player in. So I mean, that just kind of shows us how good we truly are.
All right, that's going to about wrap up our show with you guys here tonight. It's going to be a good ball game against Northern New Mexico tomorrow. Then we got an extended break. How do you guys handle that, Tommy? Do you give them just a week off? You trust them to get into the gym a little bit? What are your instructions for the ball club when they go on break like this?
Well, the number one rule is come back in shape or I'll get you in shape. So, that's going to be a personal choice. It don't make me any difference. However we do it, we'll do it. But we got a mature group, and, you're like me. A lot of kids, I can tell what you believe by what you do.
Right.
So if you believe we got a chance to be a good team and you want to try to push this thing a little further, you'll come back in shape, ready to go, energized, refreshed. And so we got a mature group, and I'm expecting them to come back and be ready to hit on all cylinders.
Well, what is the schedule when you come back? What's the plan? What are we going to report?
We'll report it the night of the 27th. We'll practice on the 28th, and from there we'll get going. And the great thing about this break is we'll have more time to really spend together. Get some individual sessions in, watch more tape, really try to, sharpen up our game plan as we move forward and really analyze how teams have been guarding us and what we anticipate and get better.
All right, we're going to bring some food over here. This is stuff Tommy can't have anymore because he's had the heart deal, so you can't have any. Can you have any?
I can have a carrot.
You can have a carrot? Okay, let's get you a plate in here. Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House bringing us out the pepperoni pizza here tonight. And we've got, you like hot honey?
I do.
The hot honey boneless wings with a little ranch and a little blue cheese. So when you guys head on out of here, you can get your little plate, get over, and we'll get the men in here. But
thank you.
Thanks a lot coming on. And we don't see you again, but happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy holidays to you, my guy. Go Pack.
All right, buddy.
Go Pack.
We'll let these two go off into the night. Get a nice hand. Sanea Martinez to my right, Tommy Johnson. They'll make their way. Yeah, Tommy's going to get him a carrot and some ranch dip. There we go, a little blue cheese. Sanea, come on over here and get whatever you want there, a little piece of pepperoni pizza. We'll put it over here. You can serve that up. And once again, the women do play tomorrow. I did not see any media links tomorrow. So if you want to follow the game in, where are we at? Espanola, New Mexico. That's between Taos and Albuquerque, basically. I think you go down to Taos and down. Or maybe you go down I-25 and over. I'm not sure how they'll get in there, but follow it on the live stats. I'll have a live stat feed for you to watch it. We'll go ahead and welcome our men's crew in here. Get your piece of pizza if you want there. There you go. Get whatever you want. Have some wings. Do whatever you're going to do. Come on in, Jordan. This is how we do it. We don't have any fancy wipes, any fancy scene changes. We just pick them out there, bring the other crew in. Jordan Blair, Zach Rubisam, head coach of CSU Pueblo men's basketball. And welcome to the show. Welcome back, Zach.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Well, how was the last couple days? It had to be another one of those Sundays where you're going, what happened?
I mean, I wasn't very fun the last 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, my wife can attest to that. So, but I feel a lot better now after we had practice. We had a very positive, I don't want to call it a come to Jesus, but one of the biggest things that we've been wanting our guys to do is step up and say something. Like, they're not going to remember me of this team. It's their team, right? So we understand what happened on Saturday, and we need to step up and say something, and we had multiple guys do that. So I feel pretty good about that right now, but I was not very fun the last 2 days.
Well, the bad news is you're 2-2. The good news is you're about a foot from being 4-0 on both those baskets. Basket to win the game against Western off the heel, and this one when on the three-pointer at the buzzer, that could have easily went in as well.
Yeah, I mean, the margins of victory are slim, right? And we'd love to be 4-0, but I told these guys today, there's three things I ended practice with. One, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them. Second, if you don't create good habits or fix your habits, your opponents will. And then third, fellas, our best basketball is still ahead of us as long as we do 1 and 2. So excited for our guys to do 1 and 2, and we're going to play good basketball on Saturday in Laredo and then after Christmas as well.
Well, let's go ahead and bring Jordan in here. Jordan, I mean, we've talked about it a couple times on the air this year. Your journey to CSU Pueblo, you were a true freshman last year, got some time, but it was a struggle at times. But in the off season, when you bring a new coach in, I'm sure you had to be thinking, man, is this place for me? Do I stay? But talk about the decision-making at the end of the season last year when a new coach is named. What were your thoughts? What were going through your mind?
Well, they had brought in 3 new coaches, and they all, was trying to say, what they were going to do, how to...
Make sure you're talking to Mike. There you go.
They was trying to say, how they was going to bring back the culture, and Coach Zach really stuck out to me because what he was saying is just, I feel like he really meant it. He had the most enthusiasm out of all the coaches and stuff like that, and I really thought it was going to be a great fit for me to play for him.
Well, a lot of places, when you come in as a freshman, you redshirt. You don't even see the court. So last year was kind of trial by fire for you coming out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but, I just got to stick with it. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing about your game that is the most eye-opening for me anyway is your fearlessness. You're not afraid to drive inside and take it to the hole. Plus, you have an ability to kind of hang in the air to get a shot off.
Yes, sir. I try to be aggressive. Coach Zach tells me to be aggressive every single time. I just try to use that to my advantage and get to the rim.
Well, and then sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. The game on Saturday, I even talked to you about it. They pulled one of the oldest moves in the world. They pull the chair out from under you when you're backing them down there into the paint. Thought you were going to have a body there. Talk about that when you're expecting somebody to be there to kind of bump against and rise up to hit a shot. If they aren't there, you end up falling down, don't you?
Yeah, I realized he was playing my drive, and I was trying to they had switched, and I had a little fella on me. I was trying to just go get to the room, make a move, but he pulled the chair out. And that happens, but got to get to the next play because I threw a turnover right after that. So.
Well, as it turned out, they had a breakout, Zach. I mean, I thought the game was going to end right there. I thought it was going to be a 2-on or 3-on-2 break, and somehow you guys got a couple guys back, and it forced an errant pass, gave you an extra chance.
Yeah, I mean, I've replayed that a couple times in my head. I was like, did we go too early? But I wanted to give us a chance to have an offensive rebound and bad bounce. So, not second-guessing when we went. I think if Jordan would have missed, we would have had a chance to tip in at the win. And just an unfortunate sequence of events. But like you said, they turned it right back over, and we got a good look, from Jaden Kennis with 3 seconds left. And I thought that one was going in, and, the basketball god said no, and, we got to keep going.
Well, I thought it was a great design play because Jaden, he's fearless. Let's just face it. He has a lot of confidence in himself, as well he should. And, some people might say a fadeaway 3 might not be the shot, but sometimes that's what you got to do to get a little separation. He seems like he's pretty accomplished at that shot.
Yeah, he is. I mean, we had the ball in a tough position too, right? It was beyond half court. We had to play into the front court. 3 seconds left. I said, Jaden, if you get a catch here, because he was the second option on that play.
Okay, who was the first then?
We were having a little stagger. We had Jordan setting the screen. We were going to curl around the screen, and Jordan was going to come to the top of the key. Jordan wasn't open. They switched that, so Jaden broke open late. We hit Jaden. And I said, you have 2 bounces, right? If you can get to the elbow for a jumper, if you can get all the way to the rim, great. They jumped on his right hand, he got to his left, and he missed the shot. And that's, it's basketball.
It was a good look, though. It was not like it. Then overtime, things happen. Sometimes the home team, it seemed like they were, I don't know if it was deep breath time, but they came out and really jumped on you guys in that early in that overtime.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a game of runs. You want to have the first run, the last run, and the longest run.
Right.
Unfortunately, they had the last run. And that's often what times happens. I think we turned it over our first possession, a little careless, but then they went down and scored. We came back, got a good shot, and then they banged a three. So, right off the bat, you go down 5-0, and now you're trying to dig out of it.
Right.
But these guys never stop fighting. So, we missed a free throw box out late, which is a killer, but we would have had a chance after that.
Well, let's talk about the positives in that game. We're working our way back. We'll get to Thursday's game eventually here too, but we're going recency bias.
Yes, I love it.
We'll talk about the game Saturday. Down 14 in the first half, and we've seen a little bit of you. You were pretty animated in that game, but I can tell people we were at the practice on Friday. You had them prep for this. You had them all say, "Hey, this is what's going to happen if we relax. They're going to hit these threes. They're going to stick threes, and if you guys aren't out there on them," even your coach went down one time, pulled up three, hit. This is what they're going to do. This is what they do. So you had them prepped for it in their mind, but they didn't quite execute it, did they, early on?
Yeah, and I think Jordan can talk to a little bit of that of our meeting today and kind of what was the result of that. But I was just disappointed in our focus and our efforts. For the first time really this year, I was disappointed at Western, but again, our focus, our efforts. Because if we defend how we defend, it's not a 14-point game. But, credit to these guys again. We get down 14. We cut it to 7 at halftime. And we just chip away and chip away and chip away and chip away and chip away. And it was a little bit like Western where, it's easy to come back. It's hard to come back and win.
Yeah.
So, again, before a young team, and we're getting to the point where we're not a young team anymore, 10 games in, but a young team or a team that hasn't won close games has to lose close to figure out how to win close. So I'm holding on to hope that, we've lost close twice now. Can we figure out now how to break through in close games?
Well, Jordan, in that ball game, you had an incredible game, 23 points, and we kind of talked about it in the post game. There's certain matchups you get out there, you got to feel like, you know what, I have a little bit of advantage. I need to exploit this matchup.
Yeah, there was one matchup where they had put the big on me, and they the other coach knew I wanted to go right. But some players I just know I can kind of get by, and I got right by him, dunked the ball. There's multiple possessions where I just got to my spot and executed from there.
Well, we talked about your ability to drive, but this year it seems like your three-point shot is coming around. You're starting to. That's where you got to keep people honest. They're going to overplay your drive, so you got to do one or the other. You got to start hitting some shots, or you just quit taking shots.
Yeah, that's another thing. Their whole team was trying to play my drive, and I try to take good threes. I don't try to force threes. So if they play me back, I shoot it. If I have my feet set, get my feet on the ball, I shoot it. But I'm not gonna shoot no step back, fade away three. I try to take good threes.
Well, in your ball club this year, it seems like you're starting to develop a little bit of depth. When you come into the year, you're always wondering, man, who are going to be the guys that take over here? But you're starting to see different players starting to play to their strengths, aren't you?
Oh yeah, everyone, our team, we got depth. We can play everyone on our team, and they can produce. So I feel like as the season keeps going on, we're definitely going to get better. We're definitely going to we all have that connection already, and it's just going to get better from here on out.
Plus, Zach, we got to worry about it. Kai wasn't able to play. I'm sure you'd like to have had him in that ball game. Would have been a world of difference when it's just extra physicality in there.
Physicality, his energy, how hard he plays. Kyron's an uplifter. He just brings energy. It kind of picks everybody up. But, the real story of our team right now, Jim, just goes to our defensive rebounding. I told the guys today, and JB can echo this, and in our 5 Division II wins, we hold teams at 36%, now rebounded by 6. In our 3 losses, they shoot 48%, and we get out-rebounded by 3. So, I told the guys I wish it was complicated. I wish it was a math problem I had to solve. But if the answer is kind of right there, we just got to do a better job at it.
Well, now let's get past that game.
Yes, sir.
It was a tough game, a tough loss. Let's go to Thursday against Chadron State.
Yep.
And I thought that was you get down early in that game, but you guys responded right away. I thought that was the key. When you go down by 7, things could snowball on you, but you got it right back to a tie at 16 and kind of settled things down.
Yeah, these guys always respond, going back to the Western game. That next game they respond. And we did in a big way against Chadron. You know, they needed a game where they shot the lights out kind of like we did. I think we shot 54% that game, made 12 threes. They needed to see the ball go through the hoop a little bit to understand how good we can be offensively. And that was a great game for us. Fouled a little bit too much late, but, you know, when you win by 15 points on the road in someone else's building, like, it's all credit to our guys, how their focus was and how hard they played.
Well, Jordan, had to be a fun game in that game when you get the lead at half, you're up by 5, and then in the second half, you were just able to just kind of increasingly put the pressure on them. You could just see a team kind of wilting because of your relentless pressure.
And that just came from the bench. Our energy the whole game was great. I feel like this team runs off a good energy. If our energy is good, I know it's going to be a good game.
Yeah. Well, and the rest of that game against Chadron, you're facing that team. I think we're seeing a team there. You guys focus on team. They're kind of battling a little individualism, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really talented. I mean, their two guys can go.
Right.
And they lean a lot on those guys, right? So
sometimes you get to watching them, don't you? If
little
you're on
bit,
that kind of team, you say, well, what are they going to do to save us?
It's a little bit more NBA style where it turns into a little bit more one-on-one.
Right.
And, you know, and they can go get a bucket, and it's not going to happen every time, but, yeah, a little bit. And that's what, you know, what we keep selling of why we're going to be hard to guard, because Jordan can go get one, Jaden can go get one, Corbin Garver, I promise you, can go get one, is going to keep getting better, and everyone just kind of fits in.
Well, I think you mentioned Corbin. That's a guy you saw him in the preseason last year. Unfortunately, had the knee injury. That's a guy that I think right now it's a confidence thing, isn't it?
I mean, going on after Christmas break, that's a guy that teams need to watch on, because Corbin is like that. I'm going to say it like that. He, once he gets his confidence back, once he gets in the little mojo, we're going to be good for sure.
Well, and then just get him healthy. I think he took the knee brace off last week. It
Huge
made
step.
a world difference.
Huge step.
And now just to get the confidence. And it just gives you a little extra element, doesn't it?
It does. And, you know, Corbin's the knee brace, coming the knee brace off was huge. And now it's about, all right, you got to practice good every day, right? You can't, I'm a big steps guy. Like, there's a process to it. You can't practice bad and then play great in the game. Like, you have to practice well, and then it'll happen in the game. So he's going through that a little bit right now, but he's practicing better and it's starting to come together. And he just, I told him, when you're going through hell, you just got to keep going, and you're going to come out the other side.
Well, speaking of confidence, there's a little guy you got on your, I say little guy, I'm sure you'll like it. But the old number 4, the freshman, I mean, this kid, he got him in the ball game, and he played pretty well.
Fearless. Cole Dutton, fearless. I mean, steps up every time, tweaked his foot, so you're going to be out for a little bit now, but he has an extremely bright future ahead of him. Has all the tools athletically, is understanding the college game. He's just your typical freshman. He just has to keep getting better and better and better. And my hope for him is he just sticks with it, right? Your freshman year is hard, whether you're at CSU Pueblo, whether you're at Kansas, whether you're at Duke. Like, it's not easy for anybody. And my whole message to Cole is get through this, get better, because you're going to come out the other side and you're going to have a great career at CSUP.
Well, Jordan, I guess that leans on you then. You've gone through this last year in the struggles of being a true freshman, learning the ropes. I'm sure you had to be almost kind of like a mentor in some ways.
I mean, yeah, by far, Cole is the most athletic freshman that we definitely recruited. As he adapts to this, how we play, this college area, he's going to be good. Like, for me, I had to adapt to a lot. So, he's definitely going to get better as the season goes on, for sure.
Well, Zach, let's talk about Jordan. I mean, you've watched him, and you see him in practice. I mean, he's phenomenal the way he's able to he just does different things. He has that it factor that a lot of players don't have.
Yes, 2 things about Jordan. 1, former gymnast, great gymnast, okay?
Really?
Everything.
Who knew?
Who knew?
What were your events? We'll get back to that.
There's multiple. You got a high bar.
You did it all?
Yeah.
Oh,
did it all.
Goodness.
Second thing,
nice.
He wants to be a broadcaster.
All right,
so
good.
This is his first experience with that, so we're growing on and off the court. And then, kind of like I said last week, Jordan Blair has no idea yet how good he can be. And he's made a jump his sophomore year. The biggest jump often in college is from your freshman to your sophomore year, right? And he's made a big jump, and he's going to keep getting better and better and better. And we talk a lot about his offense because we need him to score. We depend on him. But his rebounding and the way he stepped up defensively, like Jordan was guarding number 1 Lee in the second half. He said, I got him.
Yeah.
And that growth is what I'm most excited about for JB because, I'm gonna call it 2 months ago. I don't know if JB's saying, "Hey, I got him."
I got that guy. No, you have him.
Yeah, exactly. And
You take
for him
that
to
guy.
step up and say, I guard him and do a pretty good job on him there late was a big step for him.
Well, Jordan, I'll give a testament to you. I talked to a lot of people in my business when you work with so many different players each and every year. The one thing I admire about you the most is when somebody's talking to you, you look them in the eye. Is that something you've learned from being as a kid? Was it taught to you? Because we'll see some people come over, they're just looking all around. And even on interviews, nobody wants to look at you. But you, when you come to the sideline, coach has something to say to you, you listen to him. I saw you had a conversation with a referee this year when he was explaining something to you, and you just, I'm sure the referees appreciate that, and you kind of nodded, agreed. I don't know if you totally agreed, but you said, okay, but you give them the respect.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my parents. They raised me right, but you just got to be respectful to everyone, you know what I'm saying? Especially Coach Drew. He gets on our behinds when we look away and stuff like that. So I just try my best to, be respectful to everyone and just look at them in their eyes and stuff like that.
Well, did you and Dylan Sanders have a little talk? I think Dylan was the guy that had the brunt of it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Is he all right? I mean,
He's good.
It looked like I was watching him. I'm watching a body language guy, and he's like, "Yeah, coach, I know, but just get it out of your system because that's a guy that can be special as well."
Oh my gosh! And
looking forward to having him on the show.
I think two things about one, just Dylan, right? Dylan understood it was a lack of focus for him,
right?
And that's where there's three things that Coach Rube will get mad at, right? One is lack of concentration, right? Lack of effort and selfishness. So, he understood that, he wasn't focused how he needed to be. But the great thing about our group is, I think, one, they know I care about them off the court.
Right.
And that allows me to coach them as hard as I do on the court. Jordan has grown so much through the difficult coaching that he doesn't understand how good he can be. And he's going to keep getting better and better and better as long as he keeps understanding that coaching isn't criticism. We're trying to help you get to where you want to go.
You accept that?
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me. Really?
I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's awesome. All right. Now we got a ball game this week. Kind of a weird situation with the schedule. You got an extra game to get out of the way, so you're going to make a trip down to somewhere in Texas.
Laredo,
Texas.
Laredo, Texas.
Wasn't that where Dean Martin did a movie once? That's way before your time.
I don't know.
I'm aging myself.
You know who Dean Martin is, Jay?
Joe Survey always gives me a hard time when I'm talking about. You're bringing up stuff that nobody has any relation to, but maybe these people sitting over here will remember Dean Martin and John Wayne in the movie in Laredo. If not, you can go watch it. Pull it up on YouTube. But this is a trip. This ball club, record-wise, you look at it, I think they're 3-6, but they've played a lot of common opponents that you've had already this year, and they've played them tough. They've lost a couple of tough ball games, and you could do the old comparative score things. Maybe you're 7 to 8 points better than them, but you're at their home court, so it's really an even game. You got to take care of business.
Yeah, no question. I mean, they're a good team. We wanted to schedule, regional opponents, so playing another Lone Star team was big for us.
Right.
Want to play that. But, like I said, we wanted to go down there this year so we had some more home games next year. We didn't want to load up on home games this year and be on the road forever next year. But these games right before Christmas are always tricky, right? Our guys are coming out of finals. What is our focus? What is our energy like? And I think it's going to come down to we're talented, they're talented. Who wants to be there and who wants to do what they have to do before going home for Christmas? And I think that's what these games always come down to over break.
Well, and you get to go back to the big state of Texas. Now, how far is Keller, Texas, from Laredo?
I think that's 3-4 hours. I haven't looked yet. I haven't been over there.
You haven't been in that area.
Yeah,
it's a way. Well, you could be, you could spend the whole day traveling across Texas.
Oh, yeah.
So where is Keller? Give us a geography lesson.
It's next to Dallas, or Dallas in the Fort Worth area.
Okay.
Nice place.
North, south, east, west, north? North, okay. The thing about Dallas, it has the loop.
Yeah.
I mean, you could spend a day and a half on the loop.
Yeah, Dallas is huge.
Going around it. But fun to get back there, though. You're going to have some family there at the ball game this week?
I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to win.
Yeah, you worry about that. I like the focus there, Zach. Family can take care of itself.
Yeah, I know it's good.
I'll see them at break, but I'm focused on how we're going to respond to this win. And coming from this loss for this win, but it's a business trip for sure. Well,
what were your parents' thoughts? You mentioned them earlier. What were their thoughts when you decided to come to Colorado and play at CSU Pueblo?
I mean, they supported it. I mean, I told them how Coach wanted to change everything. They supported it. I stayed, and we're trying to build a new culture.
Well, I like to tell people, I go, look around the RMAC. Where else would you rather play? I mean, as far as Massari Arena,
Yeah.
best you've played in all the facilities. You know, Mesa likes to think they do it right, but it's just kind of like a high school gym with the little fringes on the side.
Yeah, now we
Fort
gotta
Lewis, they've kind of dressed up a high school gym. You got a nice arena at CSU Pueblo, and I mean, and the media-wise, we're trying to pick it up a little bit. It's got to be fun. Now, do you have any people you've played with in Texas that you talk to say, hey, you got to get up here? Have you done any recruiting yet, or
Nah, I
have
haven't.
you been asked to?
All my friends put down the basketball a long time ago, so
Yeah?
I can't really recruit nobody. But
We need to get a gymnastics program in here to get some of your gymnastics buddies in here.
Nah, I don't think we should do that.
You know, we used to have a high-powered women's gymnastics
I did
team
not
back
know
in
that.
Yeah.
in the Dean Martin and days of Laredo.
Yep.
the women's gymnastics was something else, but
Nagaris, right?
yeah, exactly. Now, tell me about what was your favorite event in gymnastics? What did you like to do?
It was called Pommel Horse.
All right.
So it was like a little circle kind of. I don't know how to explain
Yeah,
it, but it's
okay.
a little circle. I'm just kind of swinging my body around and stuff like that.
That
just
takes some
doing-
strength now.
Yeah, it takes a lot of upper body strength for sure.
Get all chalked up, and
Yeah.
how about the high bar? You like that too?
I was good at everything.
You good? I like that.
I was good at
Well,
everything.
we got to get you. This could be a chance for a podcast. We talked to Tyler McDonough about. Well, I don't know if we want to do it during basketball season.
Yeah, let's wait till
Let's
after.
wait till after the season.
He needs to go make some
before we
jump
go
shots,
out.
some free throws.
We don't want to get the muscles screwed up to do a little gymnastics work in the off season. We'll do it then. Oh man, that's going to be exciting. I'm excited about knowing that you were able to do that. You know, when you find out people have different talents that other people don't possess. There's not a lot of people that do
Right.
gymnastics.
No, there's not. A lot of 6'5" people too. I'll give you 6'6", 6'6" guys. I don't know how many of those guys are doing gymnastics.
Now I can see you being a tumbler.
Yeah, my wife was a gymnastics coach. I did the trampoline when I was younger.
Nice.
I was not the gymnast that Jordan Blair was, though.
Well, we saw the other day in practice. You're not afraid to pull.
That's all I could do. I could shoot it a little bit and pass it a little bit, but I could shoot it.
Well, a little different game than your former coach. Hammer liked to dunk. So
Yeah.
now he's more inside. This is Mr. Outside, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could probably get up for her.
I can't dunk,
You could
but
probably
I
dunk.
know Coach Ranson and I can outshoot some guys.
Yeah, Michael Ranth, now that's, has he showed off his shooting ability a little bit?
Nah, he can't shoot.
They
He's
don't-
all yoked up now, though, so he's a little
Jim, they
different.
don't know about Coach Ranson.
Yeah.
They don't know how good of a player Coach Ranson
He's
was.
too strong.
Did you realize his dad, his nickname is Best Ever?
I did not.
Yeah, his dad was the best ever.
Brad
So
was
just
at
called
practice watching
Just Best
that.
Ever.
Yep.
We're going to get him in the CSU Pueblo Hall of Fame next year. All right, let's go ahead and thank our sponsor here tonight. Of course, the Big Fish, BFICCC.com. Of course, that's Tim Simmons. Subscribe to the Howler. You go to that website, a little up there in the right-hand corner. It says click here. Well, you click here and you subscribe to the Howler and the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle. And he sponsors this PAC basketball show. How about your dealings with Tim Simmons? You enjoy him at all?
I do.
Tell us about him. What were your interactions with him? He's kind of a gregarious guy, really, and he's enthusiastic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Now, you got to treat him right. Now, I'm priming you to say all these great things about him because, you know, you're working your way toward the Simmons Scholarship. You know that in a couple years. So you got to do things right.
You do.
Go, I love you, Tim. I love you. I love you. I'd like to have the scholarship when I'm a senior.
I love you, Tim.
There you go. See,
you
that's
go.
how you do it. That's how you do it. Of course, you're big supporters coming
huge,
in.
yeah,
And we
huge.
talked a little bit that last week. If you missed the show last week, and we talked about your days as a man. Even I was going, who is this guy? He's wearing what? I go, don't we want these experienced head coaches coming in? People said, no, got to bring him in. And you can attest to it. I mean, you talk about the perfect choice.
Yeah, perfect.
And I think that's the one thing about it. You insisted when you came in, kind of said, why can't we do this show for basketball?
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think it was a great decision, and I hope everybody's enjoying it. But tell us about what you're going to do for the holidays.
Probably just see all my friends, hang out with family, get in the gym a little bit. No, not too much, but
Hopefully
yeah,
in the
my
gym a
favorite.
lot.
No. Yeah, get in the gym a lot, but I'm saying not doing too much. You know.
Well, you don't want to be bumping and grinding and scrimmaging and getting hurt or something like that. You want to get some shots up, get some running in.
Yeah, shots, running. You know what I'm saying? Just same old.
Now, you guys have a game the 3rd, I believe,
Third, correct,
against New
yep.
Mexico Highlands, kind of a non-con conference opponent. So
It
it's
is.
kind of a look-see at how they've got it. It'll be at home.
It will. Yep. Would love for Pueblo to come out right after New Year's, come to 3 o'clock game on Saturday the 3rd, support the Pack. Hopefully we can start the 2026 off right.
So when are you coming back after break? Probably a couple
in-
days after Christmas, or
Evening of the 28th, everyone will come back, practice starting the 29th. So we got 5 or 6 good practices, and then lace them up and go.
looking forward to New Year's Eve at Masari Arena practicing?
Yes, sir. I am.
That's right. Well, basketball too. That's the correct answer.
Yes, it
that
is.
is the correct answer. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks
Merry
for coming on
Christmas.
out. Hope
Thanks,
you
Jim.
enjoyed. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, there they are. Zach Rubisan, the head coach, Jordan Blair. Guys, spectacular. Plus, he also works the high bar and the floor exercise and the pommel horse. We're going to see that. Tyler, make a note of that as soon as the season's over. We're going to go to the gymnastics place and do a little podcast with Jordan. He's going to show us his gymnastic ability. It's going to be awesome. All right, so our next Pack basketball show will be on a Tuesday, probably about January 6th.
Yep, sounds right.
4th, 5th, 6th, January 6th. That'll be the next edition of the Pack basketball show. Special thanks to everybody here at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House, taking care of the players, letting us set up shop here and do the show. Ryan Howard's still recovering from hip surgery at home. He'll be making his appearance back here, hopefully around New Year's Eve. Hopefully have a big party here. But after that, New Year's. Ryan, hope you're doing well. But we thank you for all you do for us here at Pack Athletics and especially the Pack basketball show. Special thanks once again to Tim Simmons, BFICCC.com. Subscribe to the Howler and the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle. Special thanks to all the fans showing up here tonight. Till we talk to you in January. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. Good night.
Good job.